Really bad news for NBA Youngboy and his crew. It looks like this All-Star JR situation is a lose-lose situation for them. There's literally no win in this. All-Star JR new charges has everyone very suspicious of Youngboy's crew. And it feels like
They say somebody telling over there.
they're in a position to where they either get federally indicted or they get labeled rats. There's really no in between. If they don't get federally indicted, they get labeled a rat. Here's where the suspicion of NBA Youngboy's crew come in. So All-Star JR was initially arrested by the feds for being in possession of a firearm in relation to the incident where All-Star JR shot NBA Ben 10 and J Prince affiliates at the Houston nightclub Confessions. Now, when he was arrested, in the complaint, they listed out all type of things, such as All-Star JR standing over NBA Ben 10 and shooting him multiple times while Ben 10 lay there unconscious. All-Star JR chasing people down throughout the hall, shooting at them with their back turns, running away. But they didn't charge him with shooting anybody. They just charged him with being in possession of a firearm. But here's where the confusing part comes in. The feds picked up the case, but they only picked it up for being in possession of a firearm because the state of Texas just charged All-Star JR as lately as this week for aggravated assault leading to spinal injury. So we have an altercation that took place where All-Star JR picked up NBA Ben 10 and members of the Youngboy crew's firearm and then used that same firearm to shoot at them. The feds charged All-Star JR for being in possession of a firearm for that incident. Then the state charged him for actually firing the firearm. I'm so confused here. Why would the feds only pick up half of the case and the state pick up the other half?
Right.
Especially when Houston PD listed All-Star JR as the victim. They listed him as the victim after reviewing the footage. And they said that he was...
Hey, man, you can ask everybody, and I think Charleston White even spoke on this shit. I said this before. I even saw the interview of him. So I don't know if he spoke on this before I spoke on this. But man, listen, he didn't go to jail, bro, because he did this. That's not why they trying to fuck him. They trying to fuck him because he did this and he showboated too much. There's no other way around it, bro. There's no other way around it, bro. You cannot do these acts of crime, and I wouldn't even call it a crime. You can't do these acts of justice or crime and showboat about it publicly. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do it. It's no way. Unless it happened today and you showboated about it after everything was said and done 5-10 years from now, okay. But showboat how you did, bro, in the midst of the crime or justification of the crime, and showboat after you did it, nah, we can't have that. I'm telling you, that's what it is, bro. It ain't what everybody thinking it is. No, this shit was for showboat, bro. It was for showboat. He in the situation he in right now, point blank period, because of showboat. No matter how you want to look at it, bro, it is what it is.
Defending himself after men jump him and try to snatch his chain.
Police are searching for a gunman they say shot 2 men inside of a nightclub late last night.
Yeah, this happened at Confessions on Kirby Drive, where police say a violent altercation quickly ramped up. KHOU 11's Devon Robbing joins us live from outside that restaurant where this all happened. Devon, walk us through what exactly led up to this shooting.
Hey, good morning, Alona and Jacob. So this all happened, police say, just behind me here inside the Confessions nightclub there, which is on the second floor of this building where you see all those lights on and the sign lit up there reading Confessions. Now, it all quickly spiraled into a chaotic fist fight ending in gunfire that left 2 men critically injured, according to Houston police. Now, police say this all happened around 11:30 last night inside Confessions here on Kirby Drive. Investigators say an altercation involving 3 men broke out about when two men tried to rip chains off another man's neck. Now, it's unclear if they knew each other. Police say the two suspects took the man to the ground and managed to steal his chains. Moments later, several others jumped in, turning the situation into a massive fight with multiple people beating the victim before he was able to pull out a gun and shot two people multiple times.
We got some folks on the scene that are talking to us and got some good video. So that's where we are right now. You know, prayers for those two guys that were shot. Again, we don't know all the details yet, exactly why all this occurred. But like I said, our investigators will get to the bottom.
This case is just odd and it doesn't make sense. The same police department who listed All-Star JR as the victim in this situation is charging him with something that even the feds have refused to charge him with, which is aggravated assault leading to spinal injury. Now, All-Star JR shot two people. Both were not a threat to him, right? Both had their back turned. The other dude he shot was running out the door when All-Star JR shot him. Ben 10 was on the ground lifeless when All-Star JR shot him. But they're only charging All-Star JR with the attack on NBA Ben 10. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. But there are two theories floating around that explains this and might give context to it. Both theories look terrible for Youngboy and his crew. More specifically, Youngboy crew, because he could just dish them niggas, right, once it gets bad. But yeah, the two theories that's floating around that would make this make sense is very bad news for Youngboy's crew. Now, the reason why they're charging All-Star JR with aggravated assault that led to spinal injury, well, because the police finally confirmed NBA Ben 10 has been capping and lying to us all along. He has irreversible, like he's paralyzed. Like he is paralyzed for life, according to the police. That forced NBA Ben 10 to ultimately come out and confirm he's been lying all along and that he is paralyzed, but he claims this just what comes with being shot and that he's gonna walk someday. The doctor said he just gotta learn how to walk again. Man, all right, bro.
I thought it was the other niggas. Big ass lizards. I don't know what it was. What up, cuz? What up now? Got Pistol P with me. I got Poolie with me. I got Queefy with me too. I'm going through that situation right now, but we still thinking it out.
There's that. After months of lying to us, it looks like the truth is finally out. He is paralyzed. Now, here's where we currently sit at. All-Star JR has been hit with a fed case and a state case. He's been hit with possessing a firearm and shooting NBA Ben 10. The reason why the possession of the firearm charges specifically doesn't make sense, if All-Star JR got the gun from NBA Ben 10 and J Prince Jr. when the gun fell to the ground while he was being jumped, he didn't bring the gun to the venue. He picked up the gun to defend himself, and he left the gun at the venue when he left out. So the only reason he'll be charged with possession of a firearm is if somebody told him, folks, no, he brought the gun in. That was not our gun. That's the first thing. Now, All-Star JR's crew and his team believes that NBA Ben 10 is telling and snitching on him. Academics believes that the reason why the feds is charging All-Star JR initially is because they're building a larger case on NBA Ben 10 and the Youngboy crew, which would make sense why All-Star JR was listed as the victim, but NBA Ben 10, J Prince, and nobody involved have been charged with aggravated robbery because they did rob him at gunpoint. They had a gun on him, right? They stole, what, like $100,000 in possessions from All-Star JR? So in that regard, why haven't they been charged with robbery yet? Why haven't they been charged with assault yet? Academics believe there's, again, the feds are building a larger case against Youngboy. And then we'll get to why All-Star JR and his team believes NBA Ben 10 is snitching on them.
What kind of investigation is that? Are you saying federal informants?
No. I'm saying it could be a racketeering thing. It could be something ongoing. We've seen in situations, obviously, like the feds usually move different than the state, but let's look at what happened in Memphis. Big Jook, they didn't pick Big Jook up immediately. Like, he was pretty much part of a larger thing. Also, let's look at King Von. King Von, a lot of people felt like they shouldn't have dropped the case on statewide when it came to the whole thing with the shooting in 2019. That was going to get picked up by the feds. Actually, they're trying to put it on Dirk now again. So sometimes they allow someone to be free because maybe they got a bigger investigation going on, and you locking them up now for this, granted it is a charge, but it might be the larger scale investigation. That's the only thing I could think. Because
that's one theory. Now, I watched the Trapper Ross documentary where NBA Youngboy is, he's rapping about having 14 bodies. Maybe they are investigating them for one body, and they're about to tie this into that, into the larger RICO conspiracy. That's one theory. The second theory is, well, they snitching. All right, they is snitching. That is the second theory. And All-Star JR's representative, Dogface, he believes that NBA Ben 10 told the police something and that he's snitching. And, I interviewed Dogface. So, here's the full clip of Dogface explaining why he believes NBA Ben 10 is snitching and has cooperated with the police. We are back, man, with probably the most viral hip-hop commentator right now on the internet, man. Dogface, how you feeling, man?
All's well, brother. How you feel? I'm a little bit jet lagged, but other than that, all's well.
Yeah, man. Hey, bruh, dog, I can't turn on Instagram without seeing a Dogface clip now, man. Right, brother, you everywhere, man. Feel me? Like one, how did you even like maneuver? Cause like a year ago you were kind of like laying low, right? Ain't really care about like the media stuff. Now you're everywhere. So how did you even like maneuver that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, one of the biggest misconceptions is that I'm new when it comes to this medium. I actually started podcasting in the city of Detroit in 2011.
Really?
So I pioneered podcasting. In 2011, the word podcast wasn't even a part of the urban vernacular, bro. People didn't know what podcasting was in 2011. The only examples we had of podcasting was the Howard Stern show and the Rush Limbaugh show. So I've actually been operating this space for the better part of 14, 15 years. Over the course of the last year or two, I kind of like refocused my energy and decided to turn up because, I mean, all things is possible. Podcasting is sexier than it used to be 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And then there's the potential, and it's endless potential in podcasting now. And in my view, podcasting is the new king of urban media.
Nah, it's facts, man. All right, man. But speaking of an urban media, man, you have been the most credible voice when it comes to this All-Star JR situation, man. You called it. You told the world that NBA Ben 10 was paralyzed. He lied until he couldn't lie no more, right?
Yeah.
And now he has officially confirmed that he is paralyzed, man. So when you heard that news that NBA Ben 10 is officially paralyzed, now the feds are saying he's officially and permanently paralyzed. He's saying the doctors told him he just got to practice and like able to walk eventually. So what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that is that nothing that he says is credible.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that he's saying, or that he will say, or that he has said, is meant to kind of like throw the public off, throw people who actually concerned with this off base, so that they really can't get to the real, they can't get to the guts of what's really going on with him. I don't think anything that he says has been credible thus far, because like you so eloquently pointed out, he's lied from the very beginning, all trying to save face, all trying to clout chase, and all trying to justify all that's happened with this whole situation. So I don't think anything that Ben 10 or anybody from that camp, not just him, anybody else from that camp, even though he's been the most vocal because I believe he's the most stupid out of all of them. Mm-hmm. So he's the one because of his closeness to NBA Youngboy, he's the one who feels like he has a point to prove, which is stupid, but he's the one who feels like that he has to prove a point by trying to throw people off and trying to make himself look as gangster as possible. When none of this from top to bottom is gangster. None of this what happened. None of this happened. Nothing about that incident was gangster. It's all unfortunate, and I wish, from the inside looking out, I wish none of it would have happened.
Well, facts, man. But do you hope that he walks again?
I don't give a he never walk again. I'm not concerned with his physical condition. I'm not concerned with his mental condition. As a black man, I mean, I'm not just a totally person. So all I will say about that is that I wish it would have never happened to begin with. But since it did happen, he hasn't exactly enamored himself on the general public to make people feel sorry for him, man. Right now, he's trying to present himself to the whole world like he's a victim in order to justify that all this is told the federal government about what happened that night.
Wait, hold on. So you believe that he's currently cooperating with the federal government and he has given information?
He definitely did.
And
Damn.
how you know
He
this?
said he definitely did.
We know that just based on looking at the charges. So listen, All Stars, when you look at what happened tonight, and I think we talked before. So let's just kind of like get to the heart of what took place here. Let's kind of like dispel some of the rumors and do away with a lot of the myths surrounding what happened. People took, first of all, Jay Prince Jr. made a statement on Instagram a couple of days after this incident transpired. He made an Instagram post in which he said that none of this was supposed to happen. It wasn't a plan. It wasn't orchestrated. It wasn't prearranged. He said that he arrived late to a party that was already ongoing at Confessions, which was OG3's party. He arrived late due to the fact that he had to attend his auntie's birthday party and then he had to go to physical therapy. None of that was true. None of that was true, which is why he took that down because he nailed himself to like a chronological time chain of events that took place. OG3's birthday party, his birthday celebration with his family and friends, it was never at Confessions. His birthday party, the birthday celebration, was at a restaurant called Atlantic Oceans in Houston. A part of the Atlantic Oceans birthday party package is what they do is they create novelty menus with whoever the birthday person's name on the menus. And so he was at Atlantic Oceans, and he didn't leave to go to Confessions until he got a phone call from Jay Prince Jr. And that's when the entire birthday party, women, kids, children, got up and left, and they met Jay Prince Jr. in the parking lot of Confessions, and they came into the restaurant together. So Jay Prince Jr. saying that he arrived late to a party that was already ongoing at Confessions is not true. They got there at 11 o'clock. It happened on Wednesday, April 8th. On Wednesdays, Confessions closes at midnight. The kitchen closes at 11:30. They arrived at 11:30. If you examine the police report, it said the incident took place at approximately 11:30. So they got there as the restaurant was closing. The kitchen was closed. They got there and they arrived all together. They didn't arrive separately. Jay Prince Jr., he did not arrive.
Hey, check this out. Here's the thing, right? And I don't want to say this like too directly, right? But check this out. Here's the thing. Ain't it funny how all the white folks, all my white for my white people, I love y'all. But check this out. Ain't it funny how for all my white people that's into some shit, know some shit, or been around some shit, how they come up dead, right? But how all the black, excuse me, all the white and black folks, you know, because I gotta put, I gotta put quotation commentary on both of the words, white and black. Let's put quote, you know, let's put them on fucking both of the words, right? Parenthesis, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? For my white and black folks, right? Y'all ain't noticing how this shit a trend. They unaliving them, but the black folks going to jail. They it's like it's like what that shit called? It's like a sweep. It's like a sweep. You ain't noticing that shit? I'm just saying, cause I've been like tapping into this shit like the last year or two, and it seemed like man, this shit's strange, man. This shit scream. This shit scream. This shit scream, right? Cause when you really look, when you really do the math and look at this shit for what it really is, you like, this shit, it's to this point where it like gets spooky for real. It's to the point where it like get real spooky for real, like. And then what they do, if you end up in the feds, right? What they do is send your own kind after you. That's what they do. Fuck it. We gonna get him. He think he cool. We gonna get him one that look just like him. We gonna get him on down there. We gonna do away with him. You know what I mean? We gonna do away with him. Yeah, what? How? What the fuck? That's crazy. It's harsh. Hey, but guess what? What they say? Oh, population control. Man, you know what? That's neither here or there. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just rambling.
To a party that was already ongoing. They arrived together. They walked in together. They confronted All Star JR together. So all that lies.
Now, here, okay. So when you say Ben 10 may have given information to the feds, now
I'm telling you that Ben 10 did get information to the feds.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Here, yes, right. All right. So now, again, we might not know the exact information, but from your best knowledge, what do you think that he told the feds, or no, he told the feds?
He was questioned. So listen. So the one thing, see, people are kind of like jumping the gun and diving in and out of this, depending on what side of the equation they come down in their favor. Hey, listen, Flacco, you're a wise man. You're an uber intelligent individual. If you think that Ben 10 and NBA Ron and the rest of those demonic, satanic worshiping ass, if you think that he sat in that hospital for 3.5 weeks, almost a month, and nobody in law enforcement questioned him about what transpired that night in confessions, you know that's not true. You know that the local, state, and federal officials came into that hospital room to question him and to get his side of what happened.
Right.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
the reason why he's gone tone deaf is not because he got shot again. The reason why he has silenced himself is because everything that he did, that he said, is getting ready to surface. Everything that OG3 did and said, everything that the dead end Ron, everything that the people who were in their camp said to law enforcement, all that is going to come out now. All that tough gangster that they were trying to sell on the general public, none of that is true. He made his statement. So listen, All-Star JR, as you know, he didn't stay around to be questioned by law enforcement officials. He left, right? He left the gun, he got in his truck, and he left. And then he came back to Michigan, right?
Yeah.
So he was communicating with law enforcement through his lawyer. He never made an official statement.
Yeah,
they were trying to get him to give a play-by-play description of what transpired. His disposition and his position was the camera tells it all. It tells the whole story about what took place. If you want to know what happened, go look at the camera. The camera footage speaks for itself, and not just the.
Well. Okay, but here is where what works in your favor too is because the camera tells it all. That if somebody did not tell the police, hey, that gun that fell to the ground, it fell out of his pocket. Because if what the camera shows is a gun falling to the ground and him picking it up and then him dropping it off before leaving, then that falls within the law of that's not possession of a firearm, because if the assailants dropped a firearm and he picked it up and defended himself with the firearm, then like he can't be charged with possession of a firearm, because I don't know if All-Star JR has experience with the feds, but he knew exactly what to do. Like he knew to put it down here and walk out the place without it, because the statute says If you walk and leave the premises with it, you're now in possession of a firearm as a felon. So he knew. So because he put it down and fell within the statute, the only reason they would charge him with a possession of a firearm is if somebody told them that, no, that was his gun, he brought it in. Now, I'm not saying
they did.
Now,
They
I'm not saying Ben 10 said that, because you feel me, I ain't gangster, you gangster. But I'll be real, that looks very suspicious.
So listen, Rocco. So let's back up for 1 second, if we may. So listen. So there is. So according to state federal law, a person convicted of a felony, cannot legally possess a firearm except for certain circumstances.
Yeah.
One of those circumstances is if you feel like that your life is in imminent danger. If you feel like that you are in danger, if you feel like that if you feel like that your life is in imminent danger, you can't possess a firearm and use the firearm to protect yourself as long as the threat exists. The reason why people are saying that the possession charge, that the feds charged him with being a felon in possessing a firearm, is not because he initially didn't have legal rights to possess it. They are saying that he went 2 steps too far by continuing to fire after the threat no longer existed. That's what they're saying. But I want to offer something to people who say that, people who are using that as a talking point. As a Monday morning quarterback, as a person who's just looking at footage, that's not all that clear. Because it doesn't even show where the gun came from or who dropped it or how it got there. It doesn't even show him picking it up. All it shows is that he shot. So let me just say this to you, right? And if the All-Star JR was a white guy from Topeka, Kansas, they would be praising him for defending himself against people who attacked him and robbed him. And I want to say this, because we got a bunch of Monday morning quarterbacks who are saying, well, he went too far. Ben 10 was on the ground laying motionless, and he shot him, he spit on him, he smacked him with the pistol. He did all this right here. All things that Ben 10, once he did start talking, those are all things that he denied happening, by the way. He denied that he got slapped with a pistol. He denied that he got spat on. He denied that All-Star JR stood over him. And Ben 10's story is that All-Star JR was getting beat down, he was nervous, and he just shot recklessly and wildly. That was NBA Ben 10's official statement. He said that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? So here's the thing. How can you, in your mind, tell All-Star JR, who is being jumped and robbed by multiple people? So we're counting 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Indian, because according to the video, we see 4 or 5
3 little
guys
idiot.
jumping on All-Star JR. All-Star JR was approached by a mob of people. He didn't know how many people were jumping on him. He wasn't sitting back counting, oh, this 1, this is 2, this 3, that's 4, right? All he knows is he was confronted by a mob. And just because there was women in the entourage, don't mean that women don't jump in. We know that women jump into all kinds of shit when they're rocking out with their whole crew. So he didn't know how many people he was being attacked by. He just knew that he was being assaulted, and they were pulling at his chains, and they took his watch. So he was assaulted and robbed. One of the biggest things that people fail to realize and fail to talk about is that in the initial criminal complaint, when he got charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm, the criminal complaint spelled out the fact that while being assaulted and robbed, he came into possession of a firearm and he used it to defend himself. So my question that I want everybody to ask themselves this question. I want to put this on the table and then ask a question. You don't have a felon in possession of a firearm. You don't have a shooting without first having assault and a robbery. Nobody's locked up for the assault of All-Star JR, which took place before the shooting. Nobody's locked up for the robbery, which happened before the shooting. You don't have a shooting. You don't have anything involved in the firearm without first having to take into consideration that there was an assault and a robbery that took place first. How is law enforcement overlooking the assault and the robbery?
Yeah, man, listen, and it's so bad. Now that we know that he's not just being charged with possession, he's now being charged with aggravated assault.
Aggravated assault.
that
resulting.
resulted in spinal injury because of NBA Ben 10 is now permanently paralyzed. Now, first off, are you shocked that it was not attempted murder because they claim he stood over him and shot his neck while he was lifeless?
I'm not shocked. I can no longer be shocked by anything that happens in the judicial system in the state of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
My shock was the fact that I was shocked that he was initially charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm. But I understood it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked that NBA, Dead End Ron, and NBA, Ben 10, and OG3, and the rest of them demon seed ass were not charged with the assault and the robbery of All Star
He's
JR.
he stay
That's what I was
saying that
shocked by.
shit. That's his
Anything
favorite shit to
past
say
that,
about this.
I'm not shocked. And let me tell you why. Here's why I'm not shocked.
Hey, that's his favorite shit to
I'm
say.
not shocked because them country neck bone eating ass down there in Texas, right? There is a hand that is tipping the scale of justice against All Star JR. Because when you look at the case in its totality, you know that something stinks to high. You know that the people who assaulted him and robbed him, there was supposed to be some charges levied against them.
Yeah.
Period.
Here, okay, but so here's where my question comes in. Okay, now when you say the scales of justice is being tipped, are you saying that Mob Ties is influencing the charges? Do you feel like NBA YoungBoy being this like $100+ million artist who got UMG ties, you know, with like billionaires behind him? Do you feel like who do you feel like is stepping in and stopping NBA YoungBoy's crew and those people involved and Jay Prince Jr. from being prosecuted?
All of the above.
Well,
I
hold on,
think
though. But
all of the above.
hold on though. If Mob Ties get him, but I don't think Mob Ties got that power though, man. Right? I think that YoungBoy probably do, but Mob Ties.
Okay, so listen. I think you're underestimating Jay Prince Sr.
Yeah.
Jay Prince Sr.
They
has
are.
been a millionaire.
See, they don't think about Jay Prince, man. This is who orchestrating all of this. Bro. This ain't his son. Everybody know this already. I'm not even from there, and I know this. I don't even think we even care about them too much. But I know this. I know this. Oh, Jay Prince Jr. is like a bird, man. What do y'all ain't? I mean, not Junior Senior. Jay Prince Senior is like a bird, man. For real, y'all ain't understanding this. Y'all ain't understanding this. Jay Prince Senior is like a fucking. He's like a fucking. I can't really relate him to nobody but them from that time, from that era. Cause I don't really think. Yeah, not of that genre. Like, and I don't think it's really nobody else but them for real. Hey, drop in the chat if y'all know from that era Master P, but Master P was always on his own shit. Hold on, what? Yeah, Master P was. Yeah, hell yeah, Master P was around, right? Master P, Ludacris. I think that's the same era, right? Anyway, more of the story. No. Is that the same era? I think it's the same era. I don't know, man. My mind be, but anyway, y'all get the point, bro. The man is he he gonna get he'll get the job done. So y'all, it ain't y'all be thinking is son ain't nah, bro. They ain't got shit going. They ass ain't even like that for real.
He's been a legendary figure, not just in the music scene, but in the political landscape as well. Jay Prince Sr. has financed some of the political campaigns of some of the most important people black people, specifically Hispanic people, in the
Yeah.
state of Texas for the last 30 years. If
Wow.
you think Jay Prince Jr. is just some old nigga like Suge Knight running around doing dumb, goofy, you
Yeah,
are sadly mistaken. Jay Prince Sr. is a business and political savvy
he's the Suge
individual,
Knight.
and he's used his money and he's used his influence to prop up and to build up alliances
Mm-hmm.
all throughout law enforcement, and all throughout the political landscape in the state of Texas, which is why he has gone unprosecuted for some of the craziest in the world long before mob ties even existed. I absolutely do believe that Jay Prince Sr. has stuck his hand on the scale because that does make sense. It doesn't make sense that All Star JR was charged with anything without somebody being charged with the assault of him, without somebody being charged with the robbery of him. Because even in the criminal complaint, the initial criminal complaint says that while being assaulted and robbed,
Mm-hmm.
he came into possession of a firearm. It didn't say where the firearm came from. It doesn't say who originally had the firearm. It just says that he used the firearm. In the initial police reports, the night that the situation took place, when the police officer he held a press conference outside the restaurant, he said, and don't forget, All Star JR was not there. So everything that police officer who was investigating what took place inside the questions, everything that he was saying, it came from video footage from onlookers. It came from the video footage that the restaurant has. And it came from eyewitness testimony of
Yep.
people who talked to him on the scene. He said, based on his investigation, with All Star JR not being anywhere around, he said that it appears as if a young man was being assaulted and robbed. And as a consequence of him being assaulted and robbed, he shot the people who was assaulting and robbing him. That's what the initial police investigation said the night of the incident.
Mm-hmm.
People are ignoring that.
That's true. I do remember that press conference. I did indeed cover it, man. But ultimately, right? Because I do want to keep this under 20 minutes.
Mhm.
What do you, and this the last question. What do you expect now? Not what you hope, right? Because we all hope that All Star JR beat this. Because I do feel
Mhm.
like, again, man, like mine stands on street niggas, but I do feel like
Mhm.
if you get jumped on when you minding your business, being on a date,
Bro,
I don't give a
you ain't
how
did
far you
nothing
go.
wrong. I don't give a how far you go, bro. You didn't do nothing wrong, but still, law of it all, you cannot do that on camera. You can't do it on camera. That's simple, point blank, period. Whether somebody recording you, whether you don't know you being recorded, you cannot let them people see you do all of that on camera and then go and brag about it right away. You can't do that. You can't do all of that and go brag about it right away. That's just the point of the matter, bro. It's just the point of the matter. It's no way around that shit, bro. You can't. It's no way around that. It just is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? You go, you do. Okay. Well, we see. Yeah, you was in a sticky situation. Okay. We seen that pistol drop out of his waistband. Oh shit, we do see you on that ground getting did pretty bad. Okay, you did pick that pistol up and go to work. Damn. Oh, wait a minute. You shot at everybody. Damn. What if somebody damn baby was right there you shooting at? Damn, hold up. Damn, you went after shooting him 10 times, you went back and shot him 2 more. Oh, wait, damn, did you spit on him? Wait, then you pistol whip him 17 times? Then you try to shoot him again? Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. Now that's when this shit take a whole nother different direction. This shit just took a whole nother turn now. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. Maybe we'll still look past that. Wait a minute. Now you're online and you rapping and singing about this? Oh shit. Then you went and made a dance about it after you made 17 songs about it? Nah, we can't let you do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Did it get too much? You know what I mean? Now we can't let you do all that. That's too much. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, bro, you gotta understand this shit. That's why I say, man, people gotta understand this shit. Bro. It get tricky at the end. See, the first beginning is cool. Because you get a little past, you get a little bit past that middle, start to get to that end. That's when it get tricky.
When you should have killed every single one of them, right? Because they came with you when you was minding your business. So I hope he beat this, right? And I don't think that he went far enough. But from your expertise in terms of just being like a brilliant guy who understands the court system, the law, what do you expect to happen with All Star JR?
I expect him having to mount a defense of a lifetime. I think that we got to come Johnny Cochran. I think we have to come Benjamin Crump in order to prove that what he did was justified in the eyes of the law. Because when you look at everything that took place, when you look at all the initial police reports, when you look at everything that we learned after that, right? People can say, well, he was dumb because he made a rap record about it. He made a video about it. He should have did this. He should have did that. He should have took social media. Hey, listen, none of that negates the fact. None of that takes away from the fact that he was being assaulted and robbed by a mob of people who he didn't even know. He had no history with mob ties. I mean, with NBA. He had no beef with him. He had no quarrel with him. So one thing that I think people are ignoring the 900-pound gorilla in the room. Why would you guys attack him at all? Y'all had no prior beef, no issue with him whatsoever. And on top of that, listen, how can All-Star JR be charged with the aggravated assault with somebody, right? And then you ignore everything that led up to it.
Yeah,
and then
right.
here's another thing, Flacco. I want you to take this into consideration. I want everybody who operates in the land of Flacco to know this. Is it a fair case or is it not a fair case?
Yeah,
because normally when the feds pick up a case, the entire case becomes federalized.
Right.
If what All-Star JR did rose to the level of the feds stepping in and taking over it, and they charged him with being a felon in possession of a firearm, then everything that coincides with that, with the whole case.
Because being 10 is definitely a felon. And damn near really half of them is felons. So yeah, bro, it just ain't telling you.
Should be federalized. The whole case should be.
I've been said this though.
Oh wait, hold on. So Texas was who charged him with the aggravated assault.
Yes, not the feds.
Really?
So he's being charged in two different jurisdictions, in the federal jurisdiction and in the state jurisdiction.
Is that possible though?
It's possible in Texas.
That's insane. Yeah, because you hope, bro, if the feds are saying that he's saying wrong, like, don't the feds have like
jurisdiction?
Yeah, right. So what is the feds? Oh, that's crazy. The feds are charged with the aggravated assault.
The feds refused to charge me with the aggravated assault. So now, here's where the seriousness comes in. Here's where the tipping of the scale comes in. Listen, Flacco, when the feds pick up a case, they pick up the case. And if you remember when we talked before, we were wondering if it was the feds was going to pick up the entire thing. We were wondering if the feds was going to come with a supersede indictment and then add charges of violence and violent acts onto it. But they didn't do it. They didn't do it. They only charged him with being a felon and possessing of a firearm. The state swooped in and charged him with aggravated assault. That's the craziest in the world.
Wow, man, that's good. Hey, listen, man, we gonna stop it here, man. I can't wait to finally podcast with you in person. Listen, I'm going to Texas for the next 6 months. So I'm leaving in July, and I'm gonna be back in Texas for the foreseeable future. You right? You feel me? That's where my journey is taking me. So we definitely got a podcast. You feel me? When you in town. But Jay Prince Jr., Jay Prince Sr., if you hear this, man, the words of Dogface does not apply to me. You feel me? Right? I don't want no smoke.
Right. This is me.
You feel me? I want to be a private citizen, an upstanding individual of Houston, Texas. I want to mind my business, man. Leave me alone, man. But hey, folks, Dogface, where can they find you at, man?
On Instagram, the most dangerous voice in Detroit.
There's everything. Y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think? Do y'all believe that NBA Ben 10 is telling on All-Star JR, or do you guys believe the feds is just waiting, gathering up more evidence for a bigger RICO? Let me know in the comment section. If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, then click on this video right here somewhere on my screen, where I break down how apparently Chud, the racist dude who goes around calling black people the N-word, his team apparently.
Yeah. Yo, look. I say like this, bro. Bro did what the fuck he was supposed to do. No matter what. I'm saying, no matter what he was supposed to do. But check it out. Thing is now, how do you be somebody that's fixing to play the game that you played? But now, difference is they see they damn near control your life. When they got you, when they when you in they bear trap, you in arms reach of them, and you in their facility. Telling you, that's why. Hey man, oh, I say, bro, I ain't, hey, I don't give no fuck. However, however, whatever, girl, boy, a girl, boy, however they want to do it, they can do it, whatever they need to do. But just do that shit the fuck away from me. And I don't, bro, I don't fuck with that. I don't kick it with that. You ain't got to double back on me, spin me around in the road 60 times, and no, this ain't what that is, and that is what's this, and this was that yesterday, but the day is tomorrow, man. I ain't got time for all that. I ain't got time for that. I don't want to do all that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do all that. That's why I'm a test you. I'm gonna secretly test. See, you think that I'm a game, and you think that I ain't paying attention to all this shit. But literally, your stupid ass know I'm putting you to all the tests in a matter of seconds. I want to see what's up. I'm putting you to 67,000 tests in my mind, and you don't even know it. Your stupid ass don't even know it. I'm 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 I'm, I'm, I'm feeding into it just because I want to see how many tests I can throw at you. You don't even know it. So yeah, don't get me twisted, man. Don't get me twisted. You know what I'm saying? Real dog. Shit, real. What you think? Shit ain't what you think. I don't know, yeah, I might be tapped though. I was gonna do one more, but I might be tapped. Oh yeah.
On May 8th, 2025, a Reddit user asked a grim yet straightforward question on r/askreddit, stating, "What is the most messed up thing you have ever done?" Initially, replies to this were filled with either obvious jokes or relatively tame confessions involving relationship drama. However, after about 30 minutes of the post being live, one user replied with a disturbing comment.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm tapped. I'm tapped. I thought I could go like at least 3.5, 4 hours, but yeah, it's old. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I tried, but I gotta tap. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta tap. I gotta tap. I had a long day, man. Very long day. Very long day. So, um, I hope y'all had a good and blessed day, man. Y'all was safe. Y'all family was safe. You know, y'all brainstorming, y'all working, y'all prosecuting, exercising the mind, uh, uh, you know, putting all your duckies in the row, putting all your duckies in the row, and most importantly, standing on your shit in 2026. Cause guess what? Your ass ain't got that much more time left before 2027 is at your front goddamn door. You ain't got much time. So you goddamn run around here, chasing the lilies, staring at the butterflies, looking at the horses run and all this shit, but coming fast, coming fast. You know what I'm saying? Coming fast. Uh, but with that being said, like if not tomorrow, oh shit, man. If not tomorrow, then like so like so let's say Monday. I don't know. If not tomorrow, definitely Monday morning. But I don't know. We might do something tomorrow. I might do record something. I'm not sure. I also need how to figure out how to do my what's it called YouTube, man. Keep the loop on, so keep me playing. Anyway, that's some old game that I ain't no gatekeeper of, but gotta spill to you on a later date. What they say? Nah, it ain't time right now. Get a little bit. Yeah, take my $300 AP. Uh, I'm mad now. Fuck out. Anyway, before I end up on somebody for you, oh, too late. I already be on there. Anyway, I'm gone. I lay out. I can tell it tomorrow. Monday, 5 a.m.